Okay, so today's video is going to be a draw my life video, and just to let you guys know, I am not the best drawer, so please bear with me. So this story starts with my dad. He is from Canada and he was raised on a farm, and my mom was from Maine and she was raised kind of on a farm too. The border was what kept them separated. So one day, my dad in 1985 was going to a party with his friend, and my mom showed up with her friend as well. And I believe it was my mom's friend's party. So this was in 1985, like I said, and my dad actually had a girlfriend, so it was kind of weird because the girlfriend was there as well. But when my dad saw my mom, I guess he really didn't care that he had a girlfriend. So my parents obviously ended up dating, which is obviously really awesome. One day my mom woke up and realized that she didn't want the life of living in Canada, so she packed her stuff, moved to Connecticut, and lived with her sister. My dad stayed in Canada for a while until my dad had realized that he loved my mom and wanted to be with her, so he moved to Connecticut and was homeless and lived on the streets for a while because my aunt, who is my mom's sister, did not like my dad and would not let him live in the apartment with my mom. And my mom and him saved enough money until they could get their own place. My dad worked for many tree companies, and he was really good at what he did. He loved the tree business. He just didn't like having a boss, so he worked for the tree service for a while until he started his own company called Expert Tree Removal. Little did he know he would actually be one of the most successful people in the tree business in the area. And he literally is an expert, and he is the best at what he does. My mom cleaned houses, and she was really good at it, and she made a lot of money. They ended up moving out of their apartment in New Haven, Connecticut, and moved to a small apartment in Wallingford, Connecticut. I have two older brothers, Seth and Brandon, and me, and I was born October 9th, 1991 in Canada, Fredericton to be exact. And my parents were so happy they had a little girl. It was pretty cool that I was born in Canada. My dad wanted his only girl to be born in Canada, so that is why I was born in Canada. So my childhood memories are really special. Dirt bikes, quads, riding, vacations. We went to Universal Studios, went to Canada. We went to Walt Disney World, Florida. Like, I had literally the best childhood ever, and they are my fondest memories, and I will always cherish them and honestly always remember them. So thanks, Mom and Dad. When I was 5, we moved to a cute little house in Hamden. It was my parents' first home, and we lived there from when I was 5 to 10 years old. Elementary school was great. I don't really have any bad memories except for the fact that I was really bad at math. So that was my worst memory. Then one day before the start of my 4th grade year, my life changed and my family's life changed forever. On August 30th of 2000, my Uncle Chris was working with my dad and was involved in a horrible tree accident in which the limb from the tree came swinging down and hit my Uncle Chris in the head, knocking him unconscious. He was in the hospital at Yale New Haven, Connecticut for a few weeks, and my father and my father's family made the decision to pull the plug, and then he passed away. It was one of the hardest times in my entire life to go through that. I would say that is when my father changed the most, and he really hasn't been the same ever since. He was very close to Uncle Chris, and it was just a complete tragedy and unexpected, and it was just one of the hardest times in our lives, and my brothers went through it, and my mom and my dad, and it was just a very, very difficult time. We ended up moving to Prospect, Connecticut before the start of 5th grade. Fifth grade to 8th grade, I have great memories. I can't really say anything bad happened. I had a bunch of friends, and I just had a really, really great, middle school life. End of 8th grade, I decided to go to a technical high school. My mom kind of pushed the issue with me, and I kind of agreed, why not? So I had to leave all my middle school friends behind and go on to high school without having any friends, and high school was so tough. I got picked on a lot. Girls made fun of me. They used to draw pictures of me in study halls and just literally make fun of everything about me, the way I wore clothes. They'd call me a slut, she's fat. It was not the best time. I think everybody's high school years are tough, but it is what it is, and, I don't think anybody's high school years are easy. So I decided that they're never going to break me down, and I fought back and stood up for myself. So I took culinary arts at this technical high school that I went to, and I had 3 best friends named Danielle, Nicole, and Jamie, and we were all in culinary together, and I have some really amazing memories with these girls, and I'll always remember them. We were the best of friends. Senior year, I met Eric, who was my first love, and he was definitely the love of my life. It was crazy how much I loved him. Eric didn't go to my school. He actually graduated in 2008, so I met him when he was actually cutting my lawn one day, ironically enough, so that's how we met. He was a year older, like I said, so he drove me to school every day and picked me up my senior year. I did not have my license, so I kind of depended on him for that, but I loved that he did that for me because I absolutely hated taking the bus, especially being a senior. Little did I know that, Eric was actually not who he said he was, and he was a really, really bad boy, and he was literally up to no good, and I was such a good girl. I don't understand how I ended up with somebody like him and got so deceived, but nonetheless, he was into drug dealing, he got arrested, and I was just over here like, how could this happen to me? I'm so innocent, I don't know what's going on, I'm not even used to that kind of a life, so it was very, very hard for me. Eric and me dated in August of 2008 until November of 2010, and those were some of the rockiest years I can recall. When I was 18, I got a job bartending at this bar in Bristol, Connecticut called Stephanie's, and Bristol, Connecticut is where Eric was from. And I thought by working at the bar, it might make our relationship better because we weren't getting along. Maybe being closer to him, he could come to the bar and see me, whatever. Didn't work out like that, but that's what I had thought. So, in 2010, I was bartending, and, I had a lot of friends bartending, and I really enjoyed bartending. I met a lot of people, and, we were not doing well, me and Eric, so, I definitely had my eyes open on guys when they would come into the bar. And in April of 2010, on one of the busiest nights at the bar while working, this boy named Adam came strolling on in, and he kind of changed my life forever. It's kind of crazy. So I thought he was adorable when I first met him, and I thought he was really, really sweet. So I ended up giving him my Facebook, name, and he looked me up on Facebook, and we started messaging each other, and we started hanging out. However, I was still in a relationship with Eric, which was kind of wrong. But, that's just what happened because I really liked Adam, and Eric was not giving me the attention that Adam gave me. So hanging out with Adam really made me feel special, and, I liked Adam, but I loved Eric, so I was very confused, and I didn't know what to do. So I decided to stay with Eric 5 more months since meeting Adam, and he cheated on me, I cheated on him. We were violent with each other. It was a really, really bad place and a bad relationship. And I was like, how could he say he loves me when he does all these horrible things to me? And it was just such an unhealthy relationship. We broke up in November of 2010, which was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I went back to him for 2 years after we broke up, and he was sleeping around, and he was just up to no good. And I loved him so much, but I just didn't understand how he could be with these other girls. It just made no sense. One day I woke up after those 2 years, and I decided that this was not making me happy, and this wasn't what I wanted with my life. So I stopped, talking to him in that manner. I stopped deciding that we were going to, ever be together, and I said no more of this. So Adam stayed my best friend through all of this, and it was hard for him because he did love me to watch me, go back to him for 2 years, and Adam was my faithful friend to the end, and I will always love Adam for, staying by me through those hard, terrible years. It was hard for him to watch me make the same mistakes over and over, but he just tried to understand where I was coming from and tried to be there for me as best as he could. Finally, in February of 2013, me and Adam started officially dating. So we were friends for a few years through all those hard times, and then we started dating. I love him so much, and I'm so happy that he stood by my side as a good friend, because I truthfully think that, God placed him in my life for a reason. So going back a little bit more, sorry, I kind of hopped around. Started YouTube 2012 of September. I currently have 8,017 subscribers, and I love all of you guys so, so, so much, and I'm so happy that I started YouTube. Adam was definitely a huge supporter of that. So February 2013, I started beauty school, and I am a licensed cosmetologist at the moment. Now I freelance, I nanny, and I make YouTube videos. Me and Adam have our own apartment, and we absolutely love it. I'm so happy that we live together, and it's just really great. So I'm doing YouTube, the nannying, I live with my boyfriend, I freelance. I am absolutely so happy. I love you guys so, so, so much, and thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Queegee.
Queech.
That's an O, babe.